face once we invite him. So Courtney said, just started compounded tirzepatide. I was already at a massive caloric deficit. Will it still work? So if you weren't losing weight in a massive caloric deficit, your caloric deficit probably wasn't massive. I mean, I hate to be a jerk. But and Neil and I are both certified nutritionists. Neil's a nurse practitioner with our company. And I think what it will do, in my opinion, right? You were probably like white knuckling dieting really hard. It'll release that. There we go. Now we're like, it will release the struggle, right? Oh, Courtney's here today too. Hold on. There's Neil on the TikTok. Okay. And let me make sure that this is going to be muted here too. There we go. So what it will do for what I think it will do, right? This is speculation though. So Courtney, who's on Watch AMS, Courtney on TikTok asked a question. So now we're all going to be confused. There's too many Courtneys. There's never too many Courtneys. Let me just mute Courtney's microphone over here so we don't echo. Okay, there we go. 800 calorie deficit based on what? So in order for us to figure out a calorie deficit, what I usually recommend is to track your calories and see when you start losing weight. That's when you know you're in a calorie deficit. Some people have really low metabolisms, right? Some people, if you read Bill Campbell's stuff and the research from the ISSN, sometimes you just need a reverse diet first, right? But most of us are, Neil, I just got your text. So most of us are, I had to pee. Okay. Let's just call this. I had to pee. I had to rush off that call and then I had to pee.
No, I saw you on TikTok. I'm like, okay, I don't see a link. So let's see what's going on.
No, nothing's anywhere. No, I ran. Yeah. So, and this is only this week and next week that we'll be on Tuesday at 2. Normally we'll be at 1. So, and we'll be, Dunny is here. Hey, I like this. So that's how Neil and I would recommend finding your, and I say Neil and I, cause we're the nutrition people that have pounded this shit for years. And, Courtney will be the first one to tell you, if you're not losing weight, you're in a calorie maintenance probably, right? It's what it is, right?
Go lower, move more. And, and it'll still work. It just might take some time for your body to repair itself and how you're actually utilizing what you do have and metabolizing what. I mean, we've had patients max out on tirzepatide and it takes several months for them to really start losing weight. Some people's bodies are just really stubborn. But that's very, very few people that happens to.
Yeah, for sure. The majority of patients, no, it's not instantaneous. Mm-hmm. But with the kidney transplant, I wonder. Okay, we got to hit that question. Any tips on getting Wegovy covered for Medicare patients? No, because Medicare does not see obesity as a disease; they see it as a cosmetic problem, and they ruled on that in the 70s, which seems to have not really worked well for us now. When we realize, it's actually a metabolic disorder of our body that gets screwed up and stores fat differently. And you're welcome, Courtney.
They're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it, right? Not we. I am not lobbying. I'm trying to change things. A grassroots effort from the ground up.
There was something I don't know. I'm ignorant here. Congress, House, whatever, in New York, requiring insurance to pay for weight loss medications.
Wow.
So
you know what else New York did? Did you see this?
No.
Hold on to your butts. You're going to be pissed. New York is limiting weight loss supplements for minors as you drink Prime, which is fine. Creatine's in it. Creatine's in the list.
No, weight loss supplement. You'll gain weight.
I can't. I'm just like, what are they picking? There are absolutely, I'm actually contributing to a position statement with the ISSN on energy drinks for minors. By the way, Neil, Neil, you can't see it on TikTok, but if you go to Watch AMS, you'll see Neil in the Prime. And I'm not saying anything. I love energy drinks. I have PVCs after COVID, so I try not to do it very often. But we're working on it.
It tastes like a bomb pop.
What'd you say?
It tastes like a bomb pop.
I know.
That's good.
We had the mix of those for a while. Or no, maybe no, the regular hydration flavor of that wasn't that my kid was drinking. Somebody said, I've seen Part D will cover for cardiovascular risk reduction, but can't get it to go through. Yeah, agreed. Now the thing is too, you can't get it anyway. So there's the second half of the equation, which is what we always talk about on the lives, is nobody can get their damn meds, including our patients, because one got sent to the damn office today, my office, instead of the patient. Mothers. Anyway. So I hope that's been taken care of. I don't know. I punted it because I had time to pick up the med and that was it. Whatever. Carry on. So hold on. We got a couple questions. If you stalled, so here you go. Here's a good question for you guys too. Well, not that like we all know the same things, right? Plus like little we're like a Venn diagram. we each we each know the same core things and then we go off in circles and like have other things that we're really good at. Althea Patton said, if you have stalled for more than 3 months on 15 milligrams, would I recommend stopping and restarting? Both Courtney and Neil are,
Nope, I would keep going. I would look at all the things that you were doing. First thing I would do is I would make a food diary and I would actually make it be very accurate. I would weigh and measure everything I was taking in and kind of see where I'm at. And I would probably do that for an entire week. Just kind of see like Mondays are different than Saturdays or whatever days you're working or not working. That's where I would start. And then I would look at all the other things. Like, am I getting high quality foods in those meals? Am I getting enough protein in? And am I moving? Those are the big ones.
Sleeping. Don't forget sleep and stress.
Sleeping and stress. But the big things.
Track them.
I think the easier things to do are control your diet and your hydration than it is to control stress or sleep.
I know, right? Start with the diet and hydration, and then we'll get to the sleep thing.
And as
easy ones.
And as a last resort, I would just say from the patient side, if you haven't tried semaglutide, I know in studies that tirzepatide worked a lot better. I'm sitting on the patient side, and appetite suppression from semaglutide has. Now, I did not increase my dose of tirzepatide in quite some time because I was maintaining and switched to semaglutide because insurance covers. And I haven't been on the scale, but my appetite is quite sufficiently suppressed. Like, I'm working hard to get in a protein shake right now. Oof. Eating a couple saltines on the side. Like,
did you drop to 0.75 or did you stay at 1?
I'm going to have to go back down next week. Yeah.
So some CB said, actually, according to my endocrinologist, said resetting can help. It can. The problem is if it doesn't, because then you've got to go back down. You can't just go right back to 15. Right. Now, and on the flip side, you might not need to go to 15, right? If you want to take a break. So I'm the opposite side of that. I had, we have professional triathletes staying in our house now, and you're going to die laughing. So one of them said, so you still on the juice? I said, yes, I am. It was fantastic. Because, he said, does it still decrease your appetite like it did? And I said, no, it decreased my appetite when I had fat to lose. And it really worked with my body. And now that I'm sitting at 123, I'm not comfortable at 123. It's a little too Pillsbury Doughboyish for me, which is so funny because that was my original goal weight for eons. But anyhow, so for me, maybe if I stopped and restarted, I wouldn't have to go as high as I am right now. The problem is I'd be a batshit crazy fucking mess.
But how long do you need to stay off for? Is it a month, 2 months?
Well, I don't know. The half-life is 5 days, right? So, yeah. Do you need 20 days off because the half-life is 5 days and you need 4 half-lives? I can't do that. I would be 15 pounds up, hands down.
The only thing we didn't mention would be like adding, like a lot of our patients will add metformin in. It helps with appetite control, how you modulate kind of glucose in your body. So it does have some other effects. Right. And it helps with longevity. So you can live a little longer.
Right. And it's cheap.
And it's cheap.
It's super cheap. Oh. Right. My appetite was way more suppressed on semaglutide than Terz, but I had zero energy. Mm-hmm. So Lee-Rod, is that because you couldn't get to the sweet spot with energy and appetite and weight loss, right? Because there's like a triangle. You need, you need to be able to eat, but you need to be able to move, and you need to not hate your life, right? Like, so there's the mental component, the energetic component, and then you got to get rid of the excess fat because that's why we're here, right? Nobody finds us by accident. Sorry, I've been rushing around, and I'm really hungry. Anybody have an apple? I wonder if I could get someone downstairs to bring me an apple.
I'd hand you one if I could.
Oh.
I can't eat it.
No, Leroy said, I felt like I hated life on every dose. So
Mm.
that's what Courtney sounds like to me.
Today,
Yep.
so last week it lasted one day. So I mean, if it can last one day, and hopefully that will get better. And I mean, I don't have like zero energy. I made myself do my workout today, and I've, been up and working since 6:30 this morning. So I don't have zero energy. I'm not getting in the food that I would normally get in, and nothing sounds really good, which is what I wanted, right? I went up a few pounds, so I needed to drop a few, and yeah, I just didn't. If I had these side effects, I don't remember them on terzepatide, but that's okay. It's part of
It's
the way
been a while.
medicine works.
You
So that's
forget.
what I felt like, Courtney, when I started.
Yeah,
And see, Courtney at the beginning was like, what? Like, I mean, I guess I feel a little appetite reduction. I was like, wow, I'm going to eat a grape.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
Had my protein shake for over 2 hours. It's not gone yet. I'm trying.
Oh, that would be really good for me to see if I can get someone downstairs to get for me.
Oh,
So Wendy said, Neil, this one's all yours. I started on testosterone and weight loss has stopped. Is that normal?
Yes. At first, yes.
Why?
One, you're going to start to retain a little bit of fluid because increased testosterone, you have increased estrogen a little bit, which will hold on a little bit of fluid. Plus, you're
I don't want to be
probably building a little muscle now. Like, even on people that like age wasting syndrome or people who don't work out, they give them testosterone, they just gain muscle.
okay.
So that's where I think it would be. So just keep at it.
So the appetite suppressant that Neil mentioned isn't technically an appetite suppressant. It's metabolic management, metformin, used for PCOS. It is used for diabetes. It causes 5 or 6 pounds of weight loss in the diabetic studies. I saw a post the other day by Woodland Shell. Who are you? Who's at the Woodland Shell? Hold on. I want to know. I'm like, hey, are you from the Woodlands? And I'm gonna follow you. Okay, there we go. I've requested to follow you. So I saw a post the other day on Spencer Nadolski's Instagram. Stop calling GLP-1s weight loss drugs. They're not. Because they traditionally, right, we had appetite suppression, which brings me back to that conversation of, are you still on the juice? Do you still have, is it still suppressing your appetite? Yes, they do, but GLP-1s don't work like that. They are not your grandmother's weight loss pill, right? Or your mother's or mine, right? Because I'm old. So, yeah.
Here's one up above, Brandy. Is anyone taking Monjuro Wegovy after having weight loss surgery?
Oh, no. And somebody asked about the kidney transplant, too.
Yes. We have lots of patients that have started these medications after weight loss surgery and doing very well on them. Because a lot of times they'll hit up like a plateau and they won't go anywhere after they've been after a weight loss surgery, and we get them going again. Lots of more successes.
Yeah. And prolonged success.
Yeah.
The kidney transplant, of course, this has to be in conjunction with your transplant team.
Absolutely.
Right? Because you're not going to go to some rando telehealth person and say, hey, can you do this? You're going to talk to your doctors. You're going to say, hey, I've got a good provider that I want to work with. They are online, but I feel like we have a good relationship. That would be us, right? I don't know if any other, we don't take responsibility for any other providers, but we know what we do and we love what we do, period. Okay. We're going to get off that for a minute. So you talk to your transplant team and you'd say, listen, I got this good provider I want to work with, or lifestyle medicine. I want to lose, I've got to metabolically, my body sucks. I've got to lose 100 pounds or whatever. Is this something I can do? Right. Because you need your approval from your transplant team. But from my standpoint, there is nothing in the studies, there is nothing in the mechanism of the drug that would be contraindicated with post-transplant patients.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. If anything, it'll improve your kidney function of the one kidney that you do have. If it was me that had to lose 100 pounds, the risk associated with being obese by 100 pounds versus taking this medication, for me, it's a no-brainer. I would take the medicine.
Yeah.
Anything I could do to help. I mean, think about the excess blood vessels supplying the dead weight from that fat, right? The hormone storing dead weight. when you collect enough fat on your body, and it doesn't have to be a huge amount. I mean, I'm not talking 200 pounds, 30 pounds, that fat mass, that extra fat mass, not fat mass period, your extra fat mass becomes its own endocrine organ and starts messing with things.
Old Force is having a sore throat. Started GLP1 2 weeks ago. Semaglutide. Will it go away or is it unrelated?
Either it's unrelated,
Yep.
or it's hydration with electrolytes.
Or it could be some reflux.
Oh, there's that too.
Yeah, so
No, that's harder to fix because then
if
you push it
if
to
it's
change what they're
only in the
eating.
morning, you wake up every morning with like a sore throat. It might be a little bit of reflux. You're eating either too close to bed, too much before you go to bed, or things that just don't agree with your stomach while you're on semaglutide.
And
And it could be anything.
that's different for everybody.
Yeah, it could be red meat. It could be cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower.
I get shit from Neil. I have gotten shit from Neil for 10 years, and I'm going to keep getting shit from Neil for the next 10 years because he keeps me in line. So listen to Neil even when he gives you shit. Courtney's nicer. Courtney and I have been on the ground together for 10 years, but she's nicer.
Oh, Wendy asked, can you think of any natural vitamins instead of testosterone that would be better? If your testosterone is low and you feel better on it, I mean, I would have a discussion with your doctor, but there's no vitamins or minerals or anything that's going to raise your testosterone. There's a million supplements that claim to, and they don't. If they did, they would be prescription drugs because the pharmaceutical companies would have stolen them already. It's sad to say.
So for raising testosterone, things that I've heard in males is increase red meat consumption, make sure you're sleeping, which is what we do, make sure your protein is adequate, and have more sex. What about females? Anything?
I've seen a million different things like fenugreek, ashwagandha, like you name it. I've seen it. Lift heavy weights. It's just your body's not doing it, which is why you got put on it, is what I'm guessing. Yeah. So if it was me or you're, like my sister, I would be like, let's try it for a little while and see how you feel. If it's really not making you feel better, not doing much, go off of it and see how you do.
Yep. You're welcome, Wendy. Our pleasure. Any chance of these meds interfering with genetic testing for cancer risk? I have no idea, but I doubt it.
I don't.
Because if they're testing for a gene,
yeah,
it's there or it's not.
I don't think so. And the 2 oncologists that I've spoken with approve of these medications in their patients that have known cancer, because decreasing your BMI and obesity decreases the risk of many forms of cancer.
Well, and that estrogen load, because your cancer, it's a fat stored hormone. So, what do we think about collagen powder? At least I'm thinking it's collagen. It says collages, but I like those.
Autocorrect.
I know, right? Autocorrect. It's always about the duck, man. It's always about the duck. We all swear by collagen powder. Hey, check this out though. My Muppet hairs, look at, you don't really? Even those of you who have watched me over the past year, my Muppet hairs have grown out and now they're back. They're long enough to get back. So was there, Ian said, I was like, there's power for colleges. Yeah, I know, right? No, there's ducking not. So yes, collagen powder. I do. Can you guys hear my sound okay from back here?
Yeah,
I can.
Yeah, because I'm chilling. I've been on this damn microphone for 2 hours. I got 1 more hour today. I got this. I do 20 grams in the morning and my first cup of coffee.
Same.
So partly because today I've done that. My eyes switching. I've done that and nothing else except for a kombucha and a body armor because my lunch hour, my lunch 15 minutes, was taken by having to go to the office and pick up a prescription that wasn't supposed to be sent there. So I'm bitching about the pharmacy. But I don't know if it's our problem or not. That's on somebody else's plate right now because I don't know. All
Jennifer
right.
on Facebook's asking, which powder do you suggest? I'm guessing it's the...
I like SR.
Yeah, I use SR.
It's on sale from time to time from Amazon. I get unsubscribe and save. SR
Yep.
collagen. What is it
Yeah.
called? Sports research. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
dissolves well. The flavor's not super offensive.
And I use the flavored one. If you like flavored creamer, Mo's a black coffee drinker, but I like flavored creamer, so I use the vanilla uh, collagen powder, and it helps me use even less creamer in my coffee in the morning.
Nice. Well, they
Yeah,
also make collagen creamer as well, but I don't think it has as much collagen as the
yeah,
flavored powder.
yeah. This is easy
Um,
breezy. 2 scoops out the door.
ooh, ooh, this is a good one. Britt said, been taking Zepbound through 2 cycles of IVF. Can I just stop before the transfer? We probably should have stopped now.
Hmm.
2 months before you're trying to conceive.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good conversation to have with your doctor there. But yeah, I think it was 5 weeks initially. I think now it's at 2 months
Yeah.
is what they say to be off the medication before you get pregnant.
I wonder, would it be cool though if they keep doing the research on the oops babies that they find out that it's not detrimental and you need to just power through that shit? Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, because realistically, like, what is it going to help? What is it going to hurt in development? Like, I don't know, like, right? Because it does change processes. It changes a lot of processes, and we can't really. I sure as crap can't say, hey, it's safe because it's not.
No.
But it's hard to test in. You can't do research on pregnant females.
No, and what is it going to do? Is it going to make it so that kids can't lose weight and they have like all kind of metabolic disrepair, or can they're just lean for the rest of their life? Like it's who knows what happens
Right.
if it
Like,
does anything.
don't know. And we won't know because these medications were not so widely used and they weren't so successful at reversing PCOS. So we're not going to know for 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's the thing we're not going to know, right? Because these medications have been out for 20 years. So the safety profile for adults who are not trying to conceive or adults, that don't have multiple endocrine neoplasia or medullary thyroid carcinoma, those adults, like we kind of know what that'll do for them, but we don't know in the pregnant female and or neonate / childhood population. 42s are tough to find. Core Power 42s. Where are you guys getting them? HEB
Yeah.
has them.
Amazon has them. They're like about $4 a piece on Amazon right now.
Can you find the vanilla though?
Ooh, I don't know.
You can get the chocolate, but I can't find vanilla.
My HEB has cases of the vanilla if you want a case.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Might have to take a road trip. Courtney doesn't live very far away. I'm just being melodramatic.
Or I can bring it to you.
Just as pissy as I was, speaking of which, I got to get that jacket back to you. Just as pissy as I was for having to go to the office today, that's 15 minutes from my house. 6 weeks. Oh, wait, here we go. 6 weeks on Manjaro, muscle tiredness, fatigue, back, calf, known symptom.
Yep.
Oh, wait. If I do not drink one of these a day, and this is my second one a day, because like I said, I haven't had time to eat, and I just keep grabbing shit. I should have grabbed apples. I get really bad, weird upper back pain. Like it's weird and achy, and then my skin gets like my skin. You know when you have the flu and it hurts to touch your skin. That's what I feel like. It's bizarre, anecdotal, but interestingly, my husband took 2.5 of tirzepatide last week, and he normally gets killer headaches. Guess what he didn't have? Killer headaches. He listened.
Good.
Yeah, he said I didn't have much side effect. He said, but like day 4, he said his appetite was back in full swing. So I said maybe we go like 2 milligrams every 5 days.
Yeah.
See how that goes. See what that does. So I don't know if he's agreed with me yet, but we'll see.
Steph couldn't see what that was. It was a Body Armor Light. Any electrolyte drink will work if whatever you like, whether it's liquid IV, Gatorade Zero,
Mortal hydration that tastes.
Mortal hydration.
If you like stevia, it's fine.
Did you taste it yet?
I did.
How is it? Stevia? Yeah. Like drinking a pot of chemicals. Perfect.
Right? I'm like, I can't. Maybe I can give it away. Okay, I just had something weird happen with my TikTok.
Yeah, that just popped up weird too. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
On mine, Courtney's in charge and you and I are on the sides.
Yep. All right. Courtney's taking it over.
I don't know what happened. It still says you're host, so I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
It'll fix itself.
I don't
There
want.
it goes.
Okay. I'm like, I don't want. I don't know what's going on. God bless it.
Oh, Jenna wants to join us and ask a question.
Okay. Hold on. All the Oops Babies moms say they don't have issues. Now they don't now, but we don't know the metabolic after effects, right? So the moms are
Yeah,
doing fine. I'm not worried about the adult. I'm worried about the development of the raspberry, right? I know that
yeah.
was, yeah.
This is one of those ones. It's only it's let's say you're having a spectacular 2 months of weight loss, 2 pounds a week. That's 16 pounds. I don't know if that's worth it to me for potentially having.
A baby with
We don't
metabolic
know. We
problems,
don't
right?
know what for that kid's the rest of his life. So
Or it could be great for the kids. We don't know.
we don't know.
It could be
Yeah.
protective against obesity, and you're doing your child a favor, but we don't know.
We don't
Yeah.
know. We do know that you need circulating fat and cholesterol for their neuron development. I mean, we definitely know that. Like, you can't be on a cholesterol medication during your childbearing years because any developing fetus needs all of that cholesterol and fat. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they're feeding off of your stores for that or if it would come directly from something you ate. And so if you're decreasing your, fatty content of food, I don't know. It would be,
Mm-mm.
we're not going to do studies to find out.
Yeah, yeah, it won't be us. So hopefully somebody does. Okay, I got Jen on.
Hey, how are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I have a question that's not so much about me as my brother.
Okay.
My brother is diabetic. However, he does not have insurance, and I cannot convince him to go and get on a clinical study. So I'm now trying to convince him to get on compounded medicine. And even though I know he's diagnosed diabetic, would you guys still see him? Or would a
Oh
telehealth
yeah.
provider see him even though we know he's not diabetic? Or even though we do know he is diabetic, but he literally has no insurance.
Oh, we treat a ton of diabetics.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. No, we treat, so we don't just do weight loss. We do a lot of metabolic management. That's why I don't run a weight loss practice. I run a lifestyle medicine practice. And although, he doesn't have insurance, and we would definitely suggest slash require that he have a primary care clinic in person that he can see, and because we're not a substitute for everything. But we would be happy to start managing that and getting it under control. Now, we're not going to manage the diabetes. He needs the primary care doctor or an endocrinologist, but we can get him started on the medication. We can get him started with labs, so that way we can ease him into the system. He can go to a doctor and say, "Hey, here are my labs. You go to any labs now, you get them cheap." Right? That's how I'm getting mine, because my deductible is $1 billion, so I'm not doing it through there. It's almost like not having insurance, but except for I pay for it. But if I go to any labs now, get cheap labs, I asked Neil for my metformin renewal, which I'm good on. And then, but we manage that part as inexpensively as we can. That way, when you go into a primary care clinic or whatever, you're like, here's all my results. Listen, what do you think about this? You see them every 6 months. It makes things a whole lot cheaper, in my opinion. That's what I would do.
It's like my brother feels he's got an inferiority complex. He feels like I am trying to tell him that I'm better than him. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is he's 53 years old and he's got a 6-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to end up with him dead and having to take in my nephew.
Here I have a quote from the call I was on earlier before this, because it was very, it literally tear jerking. Hold on. That wasn't the quote. That was a really funny quote, but, hold on. This is, well, I'm going to have to explain the concept because I can't find the quote because I was taking a ton of notes. Um, all you can do is be the lighthouse. You cannot, and this particular speaker was talking about his mom who has alcoholism and is still active in alcoholism, and he of course wants her to stop drinking because alcohol just doesn't do shit for you, which is something we usually get into on here because it thwarts weight loss. It's poison, right? You're ingesting poison because it's a drug that makes you feel good. So you can tell your brother everything. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. You've got to lead by example, and you've got to leave the door open that, you know what, you're not looking down on him. And the thing is, whenever you try to tell him what to do, you're acting like his mom. So He didn't need another mother. And I don't care like whether you know best or not, right? Of course, poorly controlled diabetes sucks. It killed my father-in-law. Straight up. Because he chose not to control it. But me telling him to control it isn't going to fix it. So you got to just, hey, we have a solution for you. If you want to take it, let me know. Be the lighthouse. Just keep doing your thing. Keep shining bright.
I can do, but right now my brother's average blood sugar runs in the 400s every day.
He's an adult. He could take a gun and shoot himself in the head too. Can't fix that. Be the lighthouse. Be a good place for him to land. Because he's an adult. And he's, it's not like he's an 18-year-old though. He's 53. My father-in-law literally killed himself because he did not want to control his diabetes. He chose that. He missed out on a lot of years with my husband. He never met my son because he chose to not control it.
He's my brother, and while I don't always like him as a person, he's my brother and I love him and I don't want him to die.
Agreed. We can't save the world. We can save ourselves and maybe be a beacon and save as many people as we can. Right? Keep putting it out there. Just keep putting it out there.
Yeah.
If you watch us do on social media, post things on social media that aren't directed toward him, but that are encouraging, right? Go ahead, Courtney. Sorry.
I get that. And Mo watched me watch my husband. Literally, it was like watching someone die in the recliner every single day, a slow death. And me saying anything about trying to get anything started was detrimental. It was certainly not helpful and was probably detrimental. He had to decide for himself when he was ready to make the change, and he made a huge change, and his life has completely turned around. But I could not be the one to suggest that. He had to do it.
What was the switch? Like what switched in your husband's head, Courtney?
We were in crisis mode. We nearly lost our entire family. We were putting the house on the market. We were going down the divorce pathway. Just our life was not.
Do you think that's what made him change?
I think that's what spurred it. That was like the easiest first thing, when we agreed to go to counseling and seek help. And, they asked where the path had gone wrong. And it was like, I just watched this slow progression. And I don't think he realized how bad it was, but he couldn't stay awake through a conversation. He could no longer, I didn't trust him to drive our car when we were on vacation because the sleep apnea was so bad and the sleep was so bad. I don't think he could.
But obesity is a cosmetic disease.
It was, yeah, it's a cosmetic disease. So, we had not slept in the same room since 2017 because the snoring had gotten so bad. So I think that was like the first quickest thing he could do was get into a doctor's office and say, what can I do to help start losing weight? And the doctor fortunately gave him a GLP1 and he had immediate results. And I mean, you saw him walk out of the room the other day, like the physical change is one thing, but the change in him and in his like appearance, the way he carries himself, his ability to walk around the block, his ability to eat a healthy meal, not constantly want to have a huge meal. It's just his ability to stay awake, to enjoy fun things, to have a real vacation with our family. I mean, it breaks my heart how bad it got. But it makes me so happy that we can help provide this for other people, but they got to come to us when they're ready. You can't force anybody.
And I think that is part of my frustration with my brother is he's seen what the last 18 months has done for me. He knows what the last 18 months has done for me. He's seen how I have been able to take my life back and do things with my daughter. And the weight I've lost, and the fact that it's got my diabetes under control, and my rheumatoid arthritis under control. And I just, like you said, Mo, I know I can't push him, and I'm not trying to. I try and lay out possible options.
Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. You see, you were saying, now we're paused again. So Jen was saying that she tries to lay out possible options. But the thing is that you're still giving him options. You're still telling him, here's what you should do. You know what? When you have an adult, heck, I don't like when I tell myself what to do. I'll rebel against that shit left and right.
And I think when someone does see your success, it was much like, I would encourage my husband to go out and walk around the block, or I'd say, let's go, get some exercise together. Well, at the time I was training for an Ironman and I had been doing triathlons for a long time. And he would say back, I can't work out for 3 hours a day like you do. Well, no one asked you to. Just go walk around the block. But me suggesting that was an aversion. Like, even though he had seen the positive changes that I had made by,
Mhm.
and I was still overweight, but physically I was in better shape and lifting and exercising a lot, and had gotten the bulk of my weight off at that point. But me suggesting, hey, look how much better it's made me feel, that was not, it was worse.
I guess I'll just stop even trying, and once he finally gets to a point where he's like, help sis, then I will give him, then I will offer the help. Then I guess I will stop frustrating myself.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
Just
hard.
put the energy into the universe and hope he grabs it, you know?
Yeah. And that is essentially what I had to do at home, was just quit badgering. I decided I was going to do things that made me happy, and sometimes that was getting out of the house to exercise. Now, granted, it's your brother and not your spouse, but I couldn't continue to badger about what he did all day long, every day, because it was making the situation worse. So I had to completely let it go.
Here's the thing: it's not like I mean, not that I'm not to bring religion or anything into it. I share with people about this all the time. Literally, 7 of my coworkers have gotten on these meds because of me.
They were ready. He's not ready. You can't make him ready. Heck, I can't make myself ready. So, but I think that's a very valuable point. I'm getting weird echo from you, Jenna, so hold on. I'm gonna mute you. Hold on. So I think that's a really good point though, because we all have loved ones that we want to, get these medications to or whatever. And it just, and if you want to be our patient, by the way, I actually had somebody ask me this morning, can I do the texts for my daughter who wants to get restarted again? And I was like, yes, just do me a favor and please text us that you're going to do that, because we need to do one more bit of paperwork in between and it will not confuse the hell out of everybody. So if you do go with AMS, you go to amstelehealth.com and you do come in with a family member, just let us know, because otherwise we get super confused. We have like half a working brain cell here. So anyhow, but I think that's a really good question, because of course we want all friends and family members to succeed. It's just you can't make people do it. Courtney and Neil, what else have you guys had this week? Oh wait, can I change my day from Thursday to Tuesday if I injected last Thursday? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, beer too is usually not a problem.
Yeah, 48 hours one way or the other. We go on what the brand name recommendations are for Wegovy, Ozempic, Zepbound, and Manjaro. No problem. It was a great question. But yeah, 48 hours forward or backward is fine. Anything above that you may want to consider. Um, I mean, that's a tough call, right? Because what if you didn't get your shipment in time and it's day 4? I'm taking that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, let's be real. So,
So just one thing, I guess I'm doing this for all the workers at pharmacies. Like, so there are lots of threads. There are threads on about shortages, and there are hundreds of people calling 30, 40, 50, 100 pharmacies a day to find their medication. And I can't imagine what it's like. Literally, they'd have to, a pharmacy would have to hire a person just to answer the phone to say, we don't have that. We have that.
Oh.
And a lot of it are people are really mad. And, they're even discussing that they're yelling at the staff. It's like, the med tech can't get that medicine for you if you can't get it for you. It's a national shortage. I feel really bad for the farm techs right now.
I'll message you later, Neil, but some of our patients are very upset with us about not being able to get their medications. And
what?
Yeah.
Let me address this. Let me take that from you right now.
I've explained
Don't
1,000
don't
different
yell
ways.
at my staff, right? This is an ER thing because we never have people yelling in the ER.
Never.
We have good people all the time. Um, please do not yell at the people providing your care when our care is freely available, not freely, but copiously available. I can't pull Zepbound out of my rear end.
No, and we're doing
You make a
everything
lot
like
more money.
including sending it to Lilly Direct, which through a lot of research I found they're not actually a pharmacy. They can get your prescription, but then they send it to another pharmacy. They send it to, their website. They
So they're
send it
not
to,
a dispensing pharmacy. They
mm-mm.
are another middleman like Amazon Pharmacy.
They'll send yours to Amazon or to two other places,
Okay.
but there's no direction that where they're sending that necessarily. So anyway, we have some people upset that we don't know exactly how that works and that it's not getting, it's not.
Okay, so Lilly Direct is attempting to be a middleman to obtain a pharmacy that has a supply.
I think that's what they're
Okay.
trying to do is
Well,
help.
I mean, good on them for trying to find a solution,
Yeah, I think they're trying, but it's
but the meds aren't out there.
nope.
Yeah.
So Lilly Direct, I thought it was, funny that, Lilly Direct.
Same.
I thought it was removing a middleman, not adding an
Yeah.
extra middleman.
Yeah, same. That's exactly what I thought until I got on their website to try to read how do they get your address? How do they collect payment? Like trying to just answer some questions and be of service, and learned that they actually do send it to, they use 3 different pharmacies that they send it to. Then those people will then get your information. So are we adding another step? Possibly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. That's crappy.
Yep. Pat's saying release the vials. So even in countries where they have the vials, like Australia, there's still a shortage. There's a shortage of the medication itself. The pens are difficult to make, and I'm sure there's a shortage of those as well. But it's the medication; they just can't make it fast enough.
Yeah.
And then, what do you think they'll release the vials in America anytime
Eventually,
soon?
probably.
Eventually.
I mean, I think they're going to kind of have to in order to attempt to even meet the demand. That's my guess. That is not knowledge. I don't have any back end knowledge from the companies. I think they're I think they're going to have to, but I don't know. The shortage has been going on for so long. You'd think they would have done something already, but they can't. I don't know why they can't. Of course, I don't do big business, right?
Well, it must be the machines because there's a shortage of 2 of their insulins as well for Eli Lilly. So it must be either the machines, that are required to make these compounds, or
I need a how it's made. Okay, so Science Channel, I need a how it's made on Zepbound. Okay, just come on, show me the inside of the factory. Show it to me.
Yeah, with the sleepy music in the background.
No, I know. And with the guy, I read the whole thing about the guy who talks on how it's made because I love that man. And he's not much older than us, believe it or not. Well, than me. Okay, I'm older than everybody. Zia said, "Can you please talk about GLP-1 for short term?" That's a great question because 9 times out of 10, people are going to say, "Don't use it for short term. It's not something to lose 10 pounds." Well, I don't disagree with that because I don't. I think this is a long-term medication. I think it's for metabolic management, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
If you've been here, go to watch AMS. If you want to watch the videos on, you'll hear that 18 times. But what I do think it would be valuable for short term is if you're like, I just need to lose 10 pounds. Great. Then why can't you lose it? What's the problem? I think it'll hash out that problem real fast once we get you to your dose, right? Your therapeutic effect dose. I think you'd hit it and be like, oh, so that's the problem. And then you can figure it out. Hey, I'm going to have to be on this forever. Oh, I can change. The same age as me. Hey, I know we're the 50 club. We're good. So, I think going down that road and trying to use it as a tool, right? Is this a brain thing? Is this a metabolic thing? Like I didn't have any insulin resistance on my testing. I just have a screwed up brain that tells me I need things I don't. Funny that.
It might be good in the short term to for those of us that didn't know what a real portion was or didn't ever have a sense of satiety. It might be good to reset that. Oh, that's what an actual portion is.
Or that's how much food I need to be eating.
Right.
You're kidding me.
It's kind of shocking, right? Unless I'm training for something big, it's kind of shocking. I don't me.
Well, I'm 5 pounds heavy and I'm not eating a lot.
Yeah. Like I just don't.
So how do we determine a therapeutic dose for a person? It's
Boy,
like
I wish there was
it's
a
like the best
formula for
little
that.
black dress. You know it when you feel it.
Yeah. Be great if
Yeah.
there was a formula to figure it out, but there's not.
For us, it's basically, for appetite suppressed, you're losing weight, and you don't have side effects. That's kind of where we're looking
And you're
at.
not a crazy person. Don't forget the
Yeah.
crazy person.
Yeah, there's that.
Because see, right now my stomach's growling, and I'm thinking about food because my stomach's growling, but I don't have food noise. And if you know, you know, right? If you're out there, and Neil, I don't think I mean Neil doesn't have a ton of food noise, right? I mean, not even a whole lot in the way of cravings. God.
Not for semaglutide. I
Right,
don't
but
care
that's the
about
thing. You're
food.
off, and it's still you're good. Like your brain was like, "Oh, let's retrain this." My brain is like, "Nope." But on the meds, I don't have. I'm on 5 milligrams this week. No problem. I don't have any food noise. I just have a mother of God. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm really hungry. I ate breakfast and haven't eaten lunch. So yeah, that's how you know, right? I'm now on 15 milligrams. I don't feel like I'm taking it anymore. So my question to you is, how's your food quality? Because when my food quality goes down, I overeat the drug and it's like I'm not even on it, peeing out the money, peeing out the meds, whatever. It's like I'm not even on it. And that doesn't mean I can never eat treats. Last night I had ice cream after dinner for dessert because we got triathletes in my house and we had ice cream. It was good. I'm starving. But if I am in binge mode, right? We're gonna call it that because if all I'm eating is sugar, and I know this, you're like, well, how do you know? Because breakfast is usually sugar and then lunch is sugar. Like Neil says, if you eat the donut in the morning, you're kind of screwed, right? You don't eat the protein first thing in the day. Even with my 20 grams of collagen in the morning, if I don't hit it up with a protein chaser, I mean, I had my normal breakfast, which is like 30 grams of protein total, but I didn't have the mid-morning snack chaser. My next meal has got to be protein or I will continue to go down and I will be able to overeat the drug like I'm not even on it. Sucks because it's a lot of money. Well, and it's a lot of relief, right? Add a few more carbs than normal. I stay pretty much low carbs. So I, I, ugh. I know what I think. So what do you guys think on that? If we're low carb, feeling like you're not even on it anymore.
Low carb means different things to different people. I
Right.
still look at, are you hitting your protein goal? Are you getting that in first thing in the morning? And then, what kind of carbs are we talking?
I'd hit fiber next.
Yeah, protein, fiber, quality of food. Because if I start down the path of donut day's pretty much shot.
Donut day. We need to coin that term. Gabby said, "Can my sugar drop drastically if I move my Manjaro injection a couple days before? I am diabetic. If you're type 1 diabetic, you should not be on Manjaro. Now, if you're type 2 diabetic, you can move your shot day 48 hours in the package insert. That's not me making that up. That's a package insert. It says you can move it 48 hours pre or post. This is not it's not like an insulin. Great, thank you. Gabby says she's type 2. For those of you on later and watching the recording on Watch AMS, Watch AMS. So yeah, and that's according to the package insert. You can move it 2 days before, 2 days after.
There's one we missed from Lynette. It can't be the meds because my father-in-law works in pharmaceuticals and they sell to compound pharmacies. So my guess is they're selling the raw product, the powder. So I don't know if they just can't, the regular pharmaceutical company, like they really can't make enough sterile compound to put in the vials, the syringes, whatever, to ship out. So they sell off their powder and other people make it up. That is a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not telling us.
Yeah, if they keep that stuff secret.
Yeah, right. Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah.
How do you determine protein and fiber goals?
Yeah.
We're easy, right? We try to do the simplest thing possible. For females, 100 grams of fiber. 100 grams of fiber. You would never shit. 100 grams of protein. Oh my God, you would never go to the bathroom. 100 grams, or you would always go, depending on how your guts work. 100 grams of protein for females is based on 100 pounds of lean body mass, right? So if you're a larger female and or male, depending on body size, right? This is not, I'm not being gender biased. This is body size. We could do, we could teach you how to do the calculation for sure. But we do a gram per pound of lean body mass as an estimate. And most of us, I mean, we have 100 pounds as females, right? Neil at 100 grams of protein a day would be way too low. So for males, we usually suggest 150. For fiber goals, try to get it up to 25 for females, 35 for males, and just try to get it there, start there. I don't try to do a lot of fiber gummies and such. We try to get it from whole food sources, chia seeds, vegetables, for cruciferous vegetables, as it were, but they make my stomach hurt. So I can't really do that. So Pat said, low carb, no sugar, no sweets, no starchy carbs, protein shakes 3 times a day. You are eating a very refined diet.
I would add in some like real food is what I'd call it. Like I would add in like chicken as my protein source, or fish or meat, like a lean cut of meat, and start there along with some fresh vegetables and carbohydrates if you can fit them in there. But I think if you're drinking, I mean, the protein shakes are in and out of your gut really quick.
Yeah.
If you eat some,
gonna run it through
some real chicken, like it's going to be tough. Like you might not even get all the food in that you're allowed for the day. That's what I would do. And even if you can't, because you're busy doing stuff, if you try to substitute like one of those shakes for an actual meal with similar macros, I think you'll see a difference.
Agree.
Yep. Yes. Thank you. That was great. That was fantastic information, Pat. Because that's the thing, like with our patients, what'll happen a lot is you're like, well, I'm stalled. Okay, let's start digging in, because that's why we love our Wednesday night happy hour, because eat food at night for dinner. So you're on a Slim Fast plan. Did that work when you weren't on Manjaro? Because it didn't for me. We tell patients not to diet. You're hardcore dieting. And that's, Neil's, well, I say Neil because you're always the one who answers this question. But Neil's always the one with the Mediterranean diet, right? You want the scientifically proven diet that helps your cholesterol the most, helps your heart health the most, and promotes a healthy weight, right? So, and that's a moderate diet. Now, and some people say, oh, what about the olive oil? Okay, listen, stop quibbling. Stop quibbling.
Switch to avocado oil. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Do it if I'm not, right? Like, no, but the whole thing is there are foods that are poison. And for some people, if you're allergic to strawberries, please don't eat them. Like, that's not medical advice. It's not. So eggs, and no Slim Fast diet, eggs 2 times a week, but you're still orthorexically managing your food. Okay. This is what I mean by dieting. You're not. So we have spent so many years fixated on, I need to do this on the macros. I need to do this on the macros. I need to do this. Work on routine.
So she's eating the actual physical food at night. So then she's satiated while she's sleeping. I would try to move that either to lunch or breakfast and see if that helps.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I agree.
Don't be afraid of eggs. Don't be afraid of eggs. They are
Yeah.
not the devil.
For some people.
Yeah, Patty, I want to give you your life back. Or Pat, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I put an eye at the end of there.
I move mine around, like on my days that I'm not as physical, meaning days that I'm home doing work from home. My protein shake, my coffee in the morning, my protein shake at lunch with a little bit of vegetables or fruit with it is fine. And then I have a real meal for dinner. On my work days, when I'm like physically working a shift and I'm much more active during the day, I got to flip that and have my protein shake for dinner and have something more satiating during the day, or I'm not fun to be around. I'm really hungry.
That would be me today. But yeah, no, when somebody said don't diet, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like we treat the GLP-1 class like diet drugs. And like, we spent so long dieting. Like, how about instead, let's shift the focus, right? Hey, what do I need to get in to make my body work better? Even last night so this is so funny because if you guys have been on here for a minute, you've been on here for an hour, right? It's tortilla chips, ice cream, and chocolate for me, right? Those are the things. Not together. No, not together. Preferably in a row. You're good. I'll take Patty. Okay, good. In a row, yes. Repetitively in a row, yes, we call that a binge. And cycling through. But like last night, I was like, oh, I forgot we had tortilla chips. Okay, so first of all, there's your first clue that my brain's in a good space. I'm like, oh, I forgot we had tortilla chips, right? Then I was like, what do I want on them? I'm rummaging through the pantry. Ooh, let's put some refried beans. We put a little cheese. Like I actually made a meal out of it, right? That's the difference where before it would be, I'm eating this thing, it's wrong. And then there we start down the path, right? Now, and we talk about this all the time. There are foods that are not non-nutritive cereal varnish, right? If you're a Christmas Vacation fan, I love saying that. Alcohol is like non-nutritive cereal varnish. It makes your brain feel good for a minute and then it screws up your life for the rest of it. And then your body has to metabolize it. It deposits fat in your liver, blah, 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 right? Sugar is very similar in quantity. So your body has got to work to metabolize it first because it's a quickie energy source, right? It's like when you're doing Ironman or you're doing a marathon, you need to pound sugar because you need quick energy fast, unless you're on a GLP1 and then your body's like, no thanks. I got all messy. Liquid only. But it's I want people to just relax a little bit. Right? Because what is the other pillar that I'm talking about that's really hard to deal with? It's stress. Neil, you were going to say something.
That's the hard one. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I mentioned. I didn't mention them earlier. Like I mentioned, like diet first. You know what I mean? Hydration, quality of your food. Like things that I think a little bit easier to control than stress for a lot
Right.
for some people. Like some people are just in a stressful time in their lives and there's nothing they're going to do about that. Meditation only helps so much, or
Right?
or sleep. Some people just sleep like crap.
Oh, Pat, come and hang out with us and then go to amspublicgroup.com. You can hang out with us there. I know we're not in Missouri, but Nikki Baldwin is in Missouri and she can help you. And then you just hang out with us. Now she does a lot of this stuff too. I'm trying to get her on social media more often because she is starting her own private practice now instead of going through a different platform and working for someone else. So she's much better. Oh, thank you, Pat. That's awesome. But yeah, and that's the thing. Stress. Now, the thing is, if you start stressing about your protein and your collagen and what brand of collagen and then what kind of electrolytes and what about this and what about that? Well, then I have seen people loop themselves right around and stressing themselves out all the time and then they can't lose. So, I mean, it's a hell of a balance. Oh, what was a quote? Hold on. I got to read a quote from the book I'm reading currently. I know, annoying people. Too much ketchup can ruin the fries. Value is about balance. So, it's not about only focusing on the protein, right? We have pillars, we have table legs, because if you cut out one of those table legs, the table tilts. Sometimes my table's a little crooked, but you want to work on sleep. You want to work on stress. You want to work on food quality / protein, right? You want to work on, and the medication isn't a magic pill. It allows you to work on the triggers, right? Stop, because my triggers in my brain are a hot mess. So if I can narrow that window, calm down the triggers, work on the pillars, then I sit in this range and stuff can sit on my table. Otherwise, stuff's really, really crooked. Your table doesn't need to be perfectly straight. It just needs to be kind of in balance. Do you recommend us taking collagen? Yes, Krista, we actually talked about that. We use like SR collagen. Most of us, I don't know why. It dissolves well. I had Orgain for a while because it was on sale at Costco, but it's not my favorite. So, but hair, skin, nails, life, mucus, not mucous membranes, like cell membranes, right? Mucous membranes. That was like a total kid thing. I'm writing a chart. But your cell membranes need stuff to hold it together, right? We like stuff holding it together. Can I have a life collagen that holds it together? I need a life collagen.
I'd like that.
Pat, I threw a link up in there. If you just go to our AMS Telehealth and scroll down, you'll find her link. And if you don't like her, there's others. We have one other person on there. I'm not sure if she does Missouri, but
Great. Did you put the link in there? Because Megan asked as well. She's in Colorado. We're going to get Colorado.
I didn't throw the link in there. I just threw our link, and they can just scroll down to become a patient. That's just below that. Make it easy.
amstelehealth.com. And then there's some more information on other states.
Yeah.
How often do we move patient up in doses? It really depends. Neil, on TikTok, Gabby's asking about the collagen. Can you throw like an Amazon link in there or something?
Yeah, it's the SR.
Cool, thanks. We move patients up in doses when they need to go up and are able to go up. So whether that's insurance-wise, price-wise, side effect-wise. Yes, we are going to be in Colorado soon. All right, Courtney. I was talking about, I'm going to get Colorado probably. But yes, with Colorado, we say soon, which means we can apply for it tomorrow and it'll still be 3 freaking months. But we will be there.
Still Colorado faster than New York.
Huh?
It still has to be faster than New York.
Right? Probably.
Yeah.
Right. New York will be next year. No, just kidding. We're already in New York. But man, it's a bear. So yeah, we move people up when they need to go up. Will I be in Lake Placid for the Ironman? I have never been to Lake Placid. So no, that's one I watched virtually for sure. That one in Mont Tremblant I like to watch. I'll be waiting. Awesome. All right, well, we'll light a fire. I'm actually going to put it on my list. Like I do have a to-do list. Yeah, ASAP. That is a relative term. It's like an ER. My ASAP is like the ER. I'll be back in a minute. All right, Colorado license. It's on the list though. It's in black and white. How much is 7.5? So it's not my 7.5, but depending on your state, so 30 milligrams is what you'd need for the month, right? So, all right, somebody's gonna have to help me. Depending on the state, what 350? Huh?
Empower's 380 for 30 milligrams.
I think Link is 350. Well, hold on. The leg.
Actel is 30 milligrams for 330.
If it gets shipped to your damn house.
Yeah, CPA is 340 for 34 and 350 for Link Pharmacy for 30.
So right around 350.
Has a weird 40 milligrams for 470. So it depends on your state, but they're all pretty similar.
So, and the key is if you want to ask us that, like as a patient, you're like, oh, I'm in one of your states. Hey, I want to know the pricing. You just fill out Texas. Oh, hell yeah. So Texas, it's here, hold on, let me hit snooze. Yeah, right. So Texas is 350 through Empower, I think is not Empower. Link is the cheapest. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 340. I like Link better.
Yeah.
It's worth that for at least the first time to get the cute little kit that they give you.
I know they give you a little travel kit. Go pay $10 for the first. See, this is why they do this. This is why they do this. There's a little travel kit, comes with a vial, comes with syringes. It's Link Pharmacy. But anyway, so even if you're in our states and you're like, well, I don't know, I need your prices first. We don't keep them hidden because we're like, ooh, all secret. We keep them hidden because they change and the pharmacies change shit up on us. So, sorry.
Yes, they do.
Sorry, that was blunt. So we have a running post in our private group. So once you've have your intake forms through, you get into our private Facebook. It's not Facebook anymore. It's a school group, but it's a private patient group, not HIPAA compliant, but a safe space, much like happy hour. And then you hang out, you're allowed to hang out there for a month and try to figure out what you're doing. We're not super hyper about it, but well, okay, Amanda is a little super hyper about it. At the end of the month, she kicks you out. So anyhow, but we don't charge. We don't charge until we determine it's a good fit. If you're like, no, I can get it cheaper through so-and-so. I don't like you guys. I'm out. You're missing out. See you later. You're not our people. We're okay with it. You'll be back in a month. Sorry. I kind of joke, but I kind of don't because like, I don't know. I like what we do. All right. I have to start thinking about leaving because my bladder and Carline are not going to wait forever.
Same.
The 2-hour lives, I seriously have to like prep for that.
Yeah.
Like I have to pee. I did pee right before, but I've been hydrating because I'm not eating.
You need to eat.
If you haven't gotten that from me yet, I'm grabbing a protein shake as soon as I get downstairs.
Okay.
Protein shake and fruit as soon as I get downstairs. I walked downstairs earlier and I was like, what the hell's going on in my living room? My living room. There's a physical therapist manipulating a pro triathlete in my living room. I was like, Hey. Okay. Welcome to April.
Yeah.
Doors
It is.
open. I know. So yeah. So if anyone on the live is gonna be here. So okay, I gotta do this real fast. Because the one thing I realized that I still have not done a video or a post on this, and I need to do it because it's been a week and 2 days. I saw so many overweight people fighting through that Ironman that 70.3 half Ironman, right? It's still a long day at the office, right? It took me 8 hours. But I saw so many overweight people, and I heard all these people on the run talking about this, like, oh, I just need to take off 30 pounds, this and that. But then there's that stigma, right? Oh, I'm going to lose all my muscle. What? Because running around with 40 extra pounds is great for you? Like, I was just so frustrated with the stigma because what the media did is, it still does, is portray this as this devil of a drug when it could help people like really just metabolically repair, right? If it reduces your cardiovascular risk, what if it saves your life?
Agreed.
What if it saves your life? I don't know. I get soapboxy about it, so thank you for being understanding. Anyway, all right. What do you guys have? So, what do you want to wrap? Here's my Bugs Bunny version, my Elmer Fudd version. What do you want to wrap up with?
Be nice to the pharmacy techs.
Yes.
They're trying. Be nice to them.
Well, you know what? Just be nice to everybody, right?
What
We're
is
all
that?
fighting. That's a good. Okay, so we're all fighting our own battles. Be kind. Be a light. Provide a safe space for people to be. Right? That's our goal for patients, providers, and the public. All right. On that note, we'll see you next Tuesday. I know. At 2 p.m. next week. After that, we go back to 1 o'clock, but 2 p.m. next week because I have a thing, a super important thing, and I'll pass that knowledge on along. You guys can benefit from it too. But all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Let me do this TikToky thing first, and then